Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, what's good, Tiffany?
Hey, welcome to the Medical Money Moves YouTube and podcast with Tiffany Johnson. I'm Tiffany Johnson, and this is my YouTube/podcast channel. And I am stoked to have Mr. Dana Jones here with me, all the way from California. On this channel, I want to just provide as much information as I can about real estate investing, about life, about finances to professionals, more specifically medical professionals, because I'm a medical professional. I'm a PA, and I find that I've been practicing medicine for about 18 years now, and my goal is to eventually transition into real estate investing because I absolutely love it. It's something that I found where you have so many options, and it is very similar to medicine. And sometimes when people like me that are in medicine, um, we focus so much on the medical world, we don't think about all the other things that we can do and may be great at, and how to use these type of resources to protect us with the active income that we're making. So I just want to bring all of the information I can, financial wellness and all, to other medical providers so that we can understand how they can make passive income while working their active jobs. So today we have you, Dana, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself in just a sec, but it's just a laid back type of podcast/YouTube. I want it to be as if, we're talking amongst other friends. So I'll be asking questions, and it's just going to be a back and forth conversation. Okay.
Sounds like a game plan.
Fantastic. So give us a little bit of description about you. Tell me,
Okay.
where you are, what you're doing, and all that good stuff.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Dana Jones. I'm actually from Baltimore, Maryland, but I moved over here to Los Angeles, California. I would say like 12 years ago. So I've been investing in real estate, like Tiffany was saying. I've been investing in real estate for like 20 years. I met my wife Erica. She was my realtor, I would say like a little bit more than 6 years ago. So we actually opened ePlanet Mortgage because I was living in Baltimore doing fix and flips. My wife was my realtor, and we opened up our baby right here called ePlanet Mortgage 6 years ago. So with that right there, like I said, she still does the real estate. I do the mortgage, but I actually do the commercial mortgage. So that's how me and Tiffany actually met because, we're in a mastermind as far as multifamily. So I do the multifamily loans for that right there. I also do the hotel deals. And my wife Erica, she does like the fix and flips, the DSCR loan, the conventional loans. She does the residential. So I'm still an active investor, but I love doing the mortgages. So it's kind of similar to like how Tiffany says that she's in the medical field and she takes that income and allows that to actually buy real estate assets. So I kind of do the same thing because my mortgage company is like a service-based industry. So the money I make off my mortgages, I just take that capital and deploy it back into real estate. And over in Baltimore, I have like a single family rental portfolio. In California, I have like three properties. And I do have like two other mixed use properties that I purchased over there in Baltimore. But once I got into the single family realm, not the single family, but the multifamily realm, I see how the multifamily move. It's like, man, I have to kind of like transition over. So the single family is already like the portfolio is already like a cash cow to allow me to like live out here. And in fact, that's how I kind of like moved out here in California 12 years ago. So to kind of reel it on back around is like if I didn't have my rental portfolio back in Baltimore, then I wouldn't be able to come out here in California 12 years ago where I didn't know a soul. I didn't know anybody out here. So I just stepped out on faith and the Lord brought me out here. And I mean, it's due to the fact of real estate. So I guess that's a little short synopsis of
Yes, you have so much experience. And that was one of the things that when I initially met you, I was like, oh my goodness, he just has it going on. I mean, he got stuff over in Baltimore, now in LA, and now the mortgage company. I'm like, wow, so fantastic. And for me, I like this around myself with people that are doing the things, right? Because that's how you learn, especially for someone coming into this space that really had limited knowledge on the investing side. Like, my husband and I, as we've moved to different places for our jobs, we've built several houses, but they were for us. We became like or accidental landlords when there was a downturn of the economy back in 2007, 2008. But we had no idea well, at that time, it didn't feel like an asset, but it could have been. And we just had no knowledge of what we could have done with that property. Like we should have held it versus renting it and then selling it, because at the time we couldn't even get what we owed for it just because the whole market was down.
Oh yeah, the market crash. Yeah,
It had crashed. And I was like, we had just gotten married and everything. And we bought a house together. We just thought we were doing the right thing. No idea, but it was okay. We
yeah.
bounced back. It wasn't a big deal. We were still able to get the next house that we wanted without a problem. But I just love talking about real estate and hearing other people's stories.
Hmm.
Tell like what made you kind of get into this space, into the real, like why did you choose real estate?
Well, actually, it's almost like I kind of like bumped into real estate. So it's almost like I remember when I was living in Baltimore, I was selling cars. So I
Mhm.
was selling cars, I was making a lot of money off of selling cars. I actually would sign people up and make them car dealers. So my dad was like, put your money into the money market and you're gonna make you're gonna make a lot off of it. So I
Mhm.
think I had like at that time I probably had like 250 grand in the bank. And in a year, I seen from that money market, I saw that I probably made like a little bit over $100. So I was like, I was like, man, what in the world is this? I was like, I'd be better off just buying a house in the inner city and then
Yeah,
just fixing it up with my money and then just pretty much taking it from there. So that's how I actually started. So after that, I just believed I would just bet on myself because I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. So I'm used to betting on myself.
yeah.
So what would happen is I would just take the money that I would have from selling cars, and the cars was my everyday money. I would actually take that. I would buy a house in the inner city. I would get that fixed up, and that would be my savings. So if sometimes I would make like anywhere from like $50,000 to $80,000 off of a house. That would be my savings. I would take that. I would buy more cars, sell the cars because you would make anywhere from like $1,500 to sometimes like $5,000 per car. So it was like my everyday money, and the houses was like kind of like my savings. So I would just like flip flop them like around pretty much.
That's crazy. Like and you know what? I find that some like when, like you said, you've been pretty much doing things on your own for about 15 years old. Like I find that those are some of the most like people in those situations like you are some of the most creative people when it comes to your mindset, when it comes to just getting things done. You don't think about it too much. You're just like, you know what? I got to make this happen. I got to make this happen. Let's go. So kudos to you for just getting all that going and even having the drive. Because nowadays, I don't know if 15-year-olds would have that mindset. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it'd
Interesting.
be a little different. And then you know what? Something got me sitting here laughing on my head because even as we was in Puerto Rico, so I guess you kind of seen you saw a little bit of that when we was in Puerto Rico. We was looking at the hotel deals, hang with our multifamily crew. You kind of see that my wife thought I only did it with her, but you said I disappeared a couple times. So I guess I do be like used to doing that because my mind is always like churning. And even
Yeah.
out there, it was like I was kind of like networking with attention. So I was here, but then I just disappear and you're like, hey, where's Dana? Next thing you know, he's with like a whole nother crew, just making it do what it do. So like I said, coming from Baltimore and it's a different mindset from being over there to over here in Los Angeles. Over there, it kind of was like a survival mode type of situation. So
Yeah.
it allowed me to kind of like be able to navigate throughout the world and just I guess like survive and know how to deal with like multiple different people.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Still
and
doing it.
that the best way, like that's one thing that I am absolutely learning just in this real estate space is connection, connection, connection. Like meet people, figure out, like be intentional about meeting people and be intentional about understanding or figuring out what the value is that you have when you
Mhm.
connect with them and figure out what value you can give them. A lot of times I feel like the world teaches us, oh, go get what you can, go get what you can. But no, like if you change that mindset and try to figure out how can I serve somebody else, it's gonna
Mhm.
come back to you big time. It's gonna come
Yeah.
back. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm with you. So what Dana is talking about, we just went to a real estate kind of summit. It was called the Tropical Summit, which was in Puerto Rico, and it was hosted by Marco Riviera, I believe is his last name. Jerry Norton was there, Pace Morby, as well as Bina Jetty, who are all big time, superstars kind of in the real estate game. And it was such an amazing conference. I learned so much information. I learned how, the government over in Puerto Rico are incentivizing people to actually come in and kind of basically build up like the real estate and bring tourists to Puerto Rico. And so it was just a great experience, like for me. How did you feel? Like what were some of the things that you felt you learned at that summit?
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing like you just said. I mean, I loved it because I love that 40% tax credit. So it's almost like, you can get something, it's almost like, say for instance, you can get it for like $2 million. So you get it for $2 million, and then you're doing like a value add to it. So you get it for like $2 million, you're doing like a value add for like 3 million, you have 5 million, so 2 times 4. So then you like math like a little off.
Right.
But it's
Right.
almost like you get that freaking 40% tax credit. So it's almost like you're improving that asset for 60 cents on a dollar. So not really 60 cents on a dollar, because once you sell an asset off, I think you get like 90 cents on a dollar. So it's almost like you're still getting it at, like, you would say, like 60, like 62% on a dollar. So I mean, that's like
Right.
super, super good pretty much.
It's
And then
crazy.
I'm on my way going to Cabo. I'm going to Cabo on Friday. I'll be in Cabo from like Friday to Tuesday. And then it had me think, because the price that I'm paying for like the hotel rooms, all that in Cabo, I'm like, man, that's like kind of like they went over here, they got the land for like kind of cheap. You
Mhm.
pay almost like $1,000 a night for a room. So I'm like, wow. When we went to Puerto Rico, we actually got to look at it from our point of view to see, like, okay, now we can be the ones behind the shield. So now we can actually be the ones giving an opportunity. So now we the ones can actually give a great experience and
Right.
also the benefits as well. So we actually give the client, or give the tourist a great experience from coming over there, but then we reap the benefits from actually investing in a place, whereas though it's not so developed right now, such as
Exactly.
like a Cabo, such as like a Tulum, such
Mhm.
as Turks and Caicos, things of that nature. So I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. It was like something where as though you can get in on the ground level.
Exactly. And I can just, for a visionary like me, like somebody that can have this whole picture in their head of where you want to go and how you could impact a whole community. Like I'm looking at it from that standpoint, like, all right, well, if I find opportunities over here in Puerto Rico, like we can come and beautify this area. My goal would be to have a way to involve the local people, because I believe that people that live locally should have a place to where they can contribute to the area they live in, you know? And my goal would be just to be able to capture the culture that's there. You
Yeah.
know, I know Jerry Norton and Sharif, the person that are partnering, currently have like a boutique hotel that they're working on. And that was pretty cool. Did you get it? Yeah, because I saw
Yeah.
you when you went to go and see it too. So I met you there as we came. And I was like, man, this is like such an amazing opportunity to just impact that area. And plus be able to bring like a different experience to those coming in that
Hmm.
don't know anything about Puerto Rico. It was my first time going, and I'm like, how come I've never been here? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I
That-
gotta go back because I didn't even get a chance to go to the beach, and I was in Puerto Rico, and I didn't get to go to the beach and actually get in the water because it was just so busy. I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah,
back though.
we was going like that. It was super busy pretty much. And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it was beautiful. And like for me, like I said, I traveled to like a lot of countries. I never even had no aspirations to go to Puerto Rico. So I've been to like Dubai, China, Thailand, all that stuff. And Puerto Rico was like, it wasn't never on my bucket list. But now that I actually went, like I said, it freaking opened my eyes up. And I'm like, I was telling my wife about it. I said, yeah, it is a beautiful place. And then not only that, it's almost like you getting like international travel, but you only have to utilize your passport. So that's like a good thing too for people who don't have that passport. They can just go right there, and it's like right off of the coast of like Miami. So I mean, yeah, it's the
Exactly.
perfect place. So
It
yeah, I'm
is.
looking to invest in it, because you figure like another like 3, 4 years, it's going to be something totally different than what we saw right there.
Oh my, can you imagine what it's going to be like as, other investors start to understand what that real estate, what the governing bodies over there are incentivizing people to do? The one thing that I really loved is that I saw a lot of young people of
Hmm.
all different ethnicities, like moving from the mainlands, the states to Puerto Rico, and just them like doing their own businesses and stuff because they have incentives even for young entrepreneurs. And I'm like, what? Had I known, like, if I could go back a bunch of years and just restart, I don't know. Like, I question, like, would I still be in medicine? I think I probably would because I love helping people, but
Yeah.
I would totally be more on the business side of things because I'm the type of, I like to have multiple ways of making income,
Mhm.
and because I have a creative mind, I would love to like have known all of this stuff. Now I feel like, oh my God, I'm learning all these things. I wish I had known before, but now I'm going to make the best of it, right? And my
Yeah.
goal is to teach other people that have been in my position that may not have had the time to really, go and learn the stuff that the benefits of investing in real estate. Now is my job. I feel I've charged myself with like, hey, I need to teach other people because I want them to know like you can invest in real estate, right? Everybody has to have somewhere to live.
Look
So,
where you're at now. Look where I'm at right now. We're in real estate.
right. Everybody, like, so there's always going to be, just like in medicine, you're always going to have sick people. So there'll always be a demand there. There's always going to be a demand for real estate. And so, like, I just want to teach others that have no idea about this, like, how they can invest. You don't have to actively go and find the deals and stuff. You truly can invest passively. You
Yeah.
make sure you find the right operator and you invest in that and you get money back every month, every quarter, however it goes. So and that kind of leads me to one of the things that I've been doing. Like I invested in a deal and it's actually a 400 and I think it's a 436 unit
Hmm.
apartment complex. And so like now I say that's my apartment complex because I have part in it. We
Yeah,
just
basically,
closed
yeah.
like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm so stoked because I've worked really, really hard to learn this information, to get into the right communities, right? To educate myself and to meet some amazing people in order to have that opportunity. So I'm just stoked about that.
Look, now I ain't gonna lie, I'm happy for you. And two things that you said that was super important. One was, I'm gonna get back to that. On one was community, and the other one was like as far as your field and as far as your medical industry field. So you said if you knew what you knew now, you who knows if you would have ever like been in the medical field. But I believe you actually kind of like how I had this mortgage company as a cheat code, and I didn't realize that. I believe being as though you're in the medical field, that's a cheat code too, because like you said, you're in a multi-family realm, so you're in the medical field, whereas though you can actually sit with the professionals that you do know, you can actually raise money from them. So
Right.
it's almost like, say, for instance, you were just real estate, real estate, real estate, and then you wanted to go raise like $10 million or $15 million for like a 432 unit
Mhm.
building. If you were just in real estate, you might don't know doctors and nurses and things of that nature, whereas though you can actually tap into the funds. So it was me, because like I only had like one job, like 1.5 jobs, like on God's green earth. So other than that, I've been on my own, like I said. But if it was me, I would just capitalize on the opportunity that I have with all the professionals that's around me. I would let them see me shaking and baking and seeing the things that you're doing, and that way, right there, you can actually tap and go back into them and raise capital for your deals right there. So you might have started off being like an LP, but as you're an LP, you can actually see how your money is moving around, seeing how your money is working. So then you can actually learn how you can actually switch from being an LP to be a GP, and you already have your army around you, because they say, hey, Tiffany, I saw that, I see that you're a strong visionary, you're doing your thing in the medical field. So now you done switched over to real estate. Wow. If Tiffany can do it, I can do it. So now you know what? Hey, you don't have to be my competition, but you can actually come along for the ride. And that way, Tiffany, allow for your money to grow like my money is growing. So I believe that you have like a super huge army right there. So that's a hats off, because you figure the Lord is always going to allow for our steps to be ordered. So he actually ordered you to be in the industry where you at. So that way right there is going to be easy for you to kind of raise capital. Because for a guy like me, I might can't hardly go
Right.
to the medical field to raise my capital. I do know a couple of doctors that I can raise money from, but I believe it'd be a little bit more easier to you, because it's like people already know you, they like you, they trust you in that realm. So that's going to actually help you out. So I mean, hats off on that one. And then I think the second one was something huge that you said was community.
Yeah.
Community is everything. And even, we're in a sub 2 community, we're in like another community. I paid like, I think I was in Avengers. This
Mhm.
one, it was like $40,000. And I think sub 2 might have paid like 7,800 right now, might be like 10,000. But a lot of people sometimes they say, man, I'm not paying all that. I don't see the value. But community is everything. So you got to look at it as it's not $7,800 or it's $40,000. You got to actually say that you actually throwing yourself in a room with a whole bunch of other like-minded individuals that only eat, sleep, and do everything else are just real estate. So the more people that you surround yourself with that's like-minded, the more faster that you can go and grow. So just take like the Avengers thing. If I didn't pay the 40 grand for that, from the people who I know, from the real estate deals I've done, and also, like I said, you're in the medical field. I had this mortgage company. I didn't realize my mortgage company is a freaking cheat code because every time I get into any group, I get into it from an investor, but I wind up doing the mortgages.
That's
So by the time I do a couple deals, it actually paid for the mastermind on its own. I
right.
actually have new friends. My mindset grew a little bit more. So it's like I went in from like so many different ways. And then we're sitting here talking about investing in real estate because you're sitting in real estate and I'm over here in real estate. But truly, before we invest in any type of property, anything like that, we should invest in this real estate right here.
Correct.
Once we invest in this real estate that's going to take us to the next level, then I mean, the freaking sky's the limit. So
Yeah.
community is everything because I mean, I met you in the community. So from there, we're going to look and see where we're at now. We had this on Zoom. We just scale and look 6 months from now, a year from now, and we're like, wow, look how we parted into each other and look where we started and look where we're going to go. You feel me?
Absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
man, you just hit the nail on the head. When I tell you, I have done other like mentorships, not in real estate,
man.
prior to joining Sub 2 with Pace Morby. I'm an author as well. And so I wrote a book, and I wrote a book for parents like to protect their children, learn how to protect their children, talk to their kids about preventing child sexual abuse. And that was something that's near and dear to my heart. It's still my baby. But in those mentorships and the different things I did, I had no qualms about investing in myself. I am a forever learner, right? And for me, personal development is huge. Like I'm always doing stuff to try to be the best that I can be. I never want to be complacent. But I can tell you when I joined Sub 2, I thought it was going to be like another mentorship. Oh, they give you a couple of the Zooms that, or not even the Zooms, the webinars that they've made, the PowerPoints, and you just go about your business. No, when I came in this Sub 2, I was like, mind blown. It was like drinking water from a fire hose because there's so much information to consume. But the people, it's just like everybody in there that I've met have been such a go-giver. What do you need? How can I help you? Like so much so that probably the first month or so, I didn't really talk to a whole bunch because I'm like, I don't even know what to do, but once I got used to it and I realized like, look, you can't do this by yourself. I love talking to people anyway, and once I just kind of got used to the environment and scoped it out, man, I can't give nothing I can give. It's such an invaluable tool to be in a community. And you have to change the mindset when it comes to money. Money it's just a tool, right? I can spend money on a mentorship. If I spend $10,000 on it, it sounds like a lot, but guess what? I can go and do something else to make that money back. Or being in this community, I can have other opportunities that's gonna make that money come back. And plus, I still actively work. Like I won't say employed, but I mean, I still have a job because I'm
a guaranteed check. Yeah. So you went in two different ways because you can take your guaranteed check, bet on yourself and invest in real estate. And like you said, get in these communities with other like-minded individuals, and therefore on shop is on. And I mean, you're going to just continue to freaking grow. And it's almost like it's the cheat code that people don't really be like realizing. I'm like, yo, this is like, I mean, it's everything. Cause like you said, it's not just you just sit and watch the Zooms or watch the classes and stuff like that. You just go to all these meetups and you meet up with people like all day, every day. And once I like kind of like realized that, I think I realized it like maybe like 4 months ago. I've been in Sub 2 for a minute, but I really tapped in maybe like 4 months ago, whereas though like every day I'm on like kind of like my Google Meets and Zoom calls, but it's like I said, I'm just connected with like-minded individuals, and we just starting to do more and more deals. And it's like, even for me, I signed up so I can actually learn how to like get the deals like direct from seller as far as like a wholesaler. Once I got into it, I realized, you got to know what's your lane. And I'm like, well, hold up, I don't really kind of like the wholesaler thing pretty much because you got to deal with the VAs and do this and do that. But I just fell back and I said, hold up, I don't have to even do wholesaling because everything you need is in the community. So I just get on a Facebook group, talk to people right there. I still get the deals, get them that $10,000, fee can be like a $10,000 fee, something can be like a $15,000, but who really cares? Because I mean, it's still like enough meat on the bone for everybody winning. And the $10,000 that you're actually paying for somebody for the wholesale fee, you would have paid that anyway, freaking training the VA, paying this and doing this and doing that. So it's almost like you saved your time. And that's one thing you can't get back.
Exactly. It's a no-brainer. And that's when I went to Puerto Rico this time because I had gotten to the point where I was trying to, when again, coming in and not really knowing a lot about the investing world, I had to figure out where is my lane? What
Mhm.
is going to work for me? I knew wholesale and cold calling wasn't it because I just did not have the time to give to that and to do it consistently with how I work, with having kids, with having a husband, my other businesses. And so I was just like, okay, that ain't it. But over the past, I say month and a half, I really honed in and I've decided like, look, when I go to Puerto Rico, I am going to go here and I'm going to be intentional about who I choose to introduce myself to because I have what somebody else wants, right? And they have what I need. And I
Right.
found so many people. I was like, why am I here trying to reinvent the wheel and trying to get like a CRM, trying to get this and this when I can just join a team that already has it and I can bring maybe the capital to it, or I can be the acquisition person to go and get it, So it's really important to understand your value because then you know who to go and find. It's not like, whereas it's who you have to find your who in order to be able to move a little bit quicker. And so like right now I am I'll be working with Pace. I don't know if well you weren't at the Zoom the other day, but I'll be working with him with doing a fund to fund here
Mhm.
soon, and which is part of the whole capital raising, right? And so
Okay.
my goal is to hone in on that skill so that we can capital raise for other projects. For me, that's a great fit for me because I trying to have my own system where I have the leads, I have somebody to close it. I can't, it's just too much. And I
Yeah.
know I
Yeah.
can't do it. And so like that would be ideal for me because guess what? Everybody is looking for capital. So if I have that skill set, I can really introduce myself or put myself into other deals very easily when I develop that as I develop that skill.
Connect. Yeah, you be a connector. And the connector is everything because a connector is like the bridge. So without the
Yeah.
bridge, you can't cross over to go to the next spot right there. So that's an important pivotal thing. And like you said, I mean, in the community, it allows you to do that because you mean like me, you, a lot of other people probably had the shiny
Shiny
object
object
syndrome.
syndrome.
Like you
Yes.
said, once you sit back and just analyze and tap into what your true gift is, you're like, you know what? I just rather just focus and just go gung ho on that right there and just see what the Lord allows me to get from there.
That's all I do. And I'm like, Lord, whatever my steps are that you've ordered for me, let me walk in and just make it plain. And when I tell you, when you ask God to do that, you better be ready because
Mhm.
when he shows up, I mean, you just be like, what? It will blow your mind sometimes. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to know you, Dana. I really appreciate you coming and talking to me, kind of giving us an idea of what you do. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience as to what you have to offer and how they can reach out to you?
Well, actually, like I said, I'm doing like the multifamily lending. So you can actually reach out to me. You can give me a call at 310-926-6318. We do that on the multifamilies. We do that on the commercial deals. The office building, that asset has kind of got like a little bit depleted, so we're not doing that. You can still reach out to me, and my partner will help each and everybody out on a DSCR loan, a fix and flip loan, and also conventional loans, because that's one thing I know about in these communities, they're always looking for a lender. So, I do that as far as, from a lending standpoint. I still also just invest in real estate too. And the other things, I guess I would just call you like offline because I am like working on my nonprofit as far as like drug rehabilitation. So I'm kind of like a little happy because I just got my building over in Baltimore. It just passed. So I'm getting my drug rehabilitation program like up and running. So I'm going to actually, be investing in other human beings. So that's actually more better than the real estate too. And for me, myself, I tell everybody like real estate is kind of like speaking English. So this is like my way to get in the door. But now I get to chase my true passion with that drug rehabilitation program. So that's the newest thing that I'm working on. That's like my baby right there. I've been working on it for like 3 years, and it's like a lot of things always take a time to come, but once it comes to fruition, man, it make you kind of like cry inside pretty much.
Okay, so you just put that little gem. I'm gonna need you to tell me a little bit more about that project because I am a sucker. I ain't gonna say a sucker. I love helping people, and I want to make sure like I want everybody to win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My heart, like that's just the type of person I am. So tell me about the project that you have going on. Tell me a little bit more.
Okay, so like I said, there's a drug rehabilitation program that we have going on in Baltimore. So that over there is like the crime rate is like a little high. So with this right here, we actually I teamed up with my partner. She's been doing it for like 20 years. So with this right here, we actually, you know, like you take somebody, they can be like homeless, they can be getting high for drugs, and it's like somebody might have wrote them off. Like they can be like, you know, sleeping on the streets, shooting pills and all that type of stuff. But for me, it's almost like we put them in a training and we actually help them out. We get them off of those drugs. And it's not only just to get you off of, but we get you off of the drugs. And then one day you'll be sitting here on a Zoom talking to us. And then it's not, and not only that, it's like, you know, people wrote you off like, man, Tiffany, oh, I don't want to talk to her. She gets high, she stinks, she's just that, and the third. But for me to actually invest in a human being, bring them back up and also give them like life skills, give them like workforce development, show them how they can actually be like a carpenter, show them how they can actually be a plumber. So we have like a lot of things that's going on in the background, whereas though, you know, sometimes they don't have an ID. So we get you your ID, we get you your driver's license. We actually show you how you can actually purchase a car. So it's actually, like I said, is you actually, it's like a life coach. So we're going to be invested in another human being, taking them from the ground and just bringing them back up. And that's like the biggest thing. Like I said, I've been working on it for like a minute. And I've just been just chilling with it. And just like I said, my building just passed all the inspections. I'm waiting for the accreditation to come through. And it's like, man, so I'm gonna have to talk to you maybe offline because I have to like hire some staff. So I have to have the staff and everything in order so that, I mean, being as though you're in that field, you might know, we might, you know, send me to some agencies or something like that so I can get the staff for that right there. So that's my big baby right there. And it's almost like I tell wifey, I just say real estate is like speaking English. So I'm in it because, you know, it opens the doors and this, that, and the third. It's something that, I mean, it's cool with me, but it's not nothing that I really love to do. I do it because, I mean, it's cool. But this right here, this is like something that's like real close to my heart pretty much. Because like I said, I'm investing like another human. So that's, I believe once I leave this earth, the Lord will like, well done, my good and faithful servant. You know what I mean? You did your thing, you invested in another human, you gave them knowledge and you just made sure all was well. So I mean, hey, you did your thing.
I love it. That I
That's
mean, that touches my heart big time. I'm so glad you know, talked about it a little bit more because I had no idea that was even something you were considering. But you know, and I think overall, like that, yes, real estate is a thing. Yes, can you make money in real estate? Of course. Is making money a bad thing? Absolutely not. You have to live, and plus, when you're making money, it gives you the ability to tap into other resources so that you can help somebody else. And for me, ultimately, that's my goal, is to help somebody else, whether it's to help them to learn about real estate and understand how they can, you know, like receive the benefits, whether it's, you know, financially just making passive cash flow, whether it's the tax benefits, whether it's like, you know, me, I love kids, right? Kids are my passion. As I practice every single practice that I've ever been in, I have to take care of kids because that's my favorite population of people, right? And that's
blessed.
the reason I wrote my book, is because I felt like I can reach so many other families and protect our children from being abused by those that prey on kids, right? And if, in my mind, like if you know the things to do, we can save so many kids because so many kids are being preyed upon. Whether it's digitally on social media, whether it's at home. I mean, it's, we just have to do better as a society in protecting our kids. And so ultimately that is one of my goals, is to have some sort of program so that I can continue to educate families on learning how to talk to their children about body safety, about boundaries, how to be aware, how to be okay with telling people if someone has violated their space, you know, so that we can be on the preventative side of things versus being reactive after issues have already happened. And
That's a
so
blessing.
I love what you're doing. I'm so stoked, and you know I'm always willing to help however I can. So yeah, we'll definitely talk more offline about it. But I just really, really appreciate you. You guys don't hesitate to reach out to Dana. He has been amazing. His wife is amazing, Erica. She is amazing too. I've talked to her as well. I would have loved to have her here too. Next time, I'm gonna work on it, y'all. I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna set it up because I mean, like a lot of times I tell people, I said, man, y'all think I'm kind of smart. Well, I tell you, once you meet wifey, whew, she like a powerhouse.
I
So I'm
love
gonna
it.
set it up so you guys can just talk and just make sure, yeah, so she can do this right here because the world needs to see I'm a little bit more of a, like I'm a little bit more, not she could be more social than me, but I think I'm like on the internet more. I'm like on
Yeah.
IG, Facebook a little bit more than her. I try to push her to be on there, but once she start getting on there, it's like, man, she can be on the road because she's like a wealth of knowledge.
I know she is. I talked to her, again about one of the products you guys offer, DSC, all those, and she was just like schooling me. I was like, okay, Erica, listen. She was like, girl, let me just tell you. And we were like cracking up on the phone. So I enjoyed speaking with her, and I do hope to get to know her even more. So we'll set it up for sure. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
coming to an end, I thank you so much, Dana. You guys, please reach out to him for whatever you need from the real estate world of things. You can reach me on IG at Tiffany S. Johnson, the PA. So THEPA. And of course, I cannot wait for the next episode. You guys reach out if you have any questions. Please put them down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys.